We're going to hear how a network of marinas are using smart sensors to collect data and improve their value proposition to berth holders as well as their operations. So this is Dean, nice to see you again. Dean.
Hey Ben.
Let's go round to the display and talk through essentially how these all work.
Yeah, fine.
So here we go. Just go for it. Just start wherever you like and talk us through what's actually taking place here.
I think probably the best place to start is kind of our inspiration for including this in our product. This came from this statement here, long distance caring.
Okay.
Right at the beginning of kind of trying to get the strategy for D-Marin established, we did a kind of pain points piece of research for customers, and one of their kind of, not niggles, but one of their preferences was to have more information about their boat in real time.
Because they're not there very often, right?
Correct.
Even if they're using the boat a lot, they're going to be away working for the majority of the time, and then when they turn up, they want to know that their boat is ready to go.
Especially the international clients, yeah. We have weather events, we have different things happening. They want to make sure that their boat's okay. Obviously they pay us to make sure their boat's okay, but to be able to look at some information about the boat in real time was really, really important to them. So that's when we partnered with Sense4Boat. These guys have been creating these sensors now for about 7 or 8 years. They're super reliable, they're super easy to install. Again, a feature that we really wanted. We didn't want high technical installation problems, lots of wiring. Yeah. So all of these are wireless. They run on a network within the marina. And what the boat owner is able to do through the application is look at the various sensor points throughout the boat. So if we start over with you, this is just basically a bilge alarm, if you like. It's a slow water ingress sensor. If there's any exceptional activity, because bilges are working all the time, we know that every time it rains. A little bit of water,
no dramas, nothing dramatic, nothing needs to be done.
So
but if it's more, then you want to know about it. Yeah.
The app is looking for that little spike in activity, that something's changed.
Right, so an abnormality.
Exactly, right. Yeah. So it's not going to just send you an alarm every time your bilge activates. That would drive you crazy. What this is going to look for is exceptional bilge activities. And you can always track it and look at the history, that all of the data is live and kept on board. This information also comes super usefully to the marina operations team. So they get the same alert. Obviously, you might be many, many miles away, even a flight away. Yeah. You're probably not going to be able to do anything about this, but we can for you.
Yeah, so you're there, you're on site.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, for years, we've been doing this for 20-something years, operating marinas. You have to use your eye and your experience to see if a boat's listing or the water line's changed or something like that. Yeah. And maybe there's already some damage on board to electrics or engines or whatever it could be. Yeah. With this installed, we'll be able to know if there's just exceptional activity, so we can do a preventative check, which is super helpful.
Yeah, and it's on a lot of boats. So you could take care of maybe 10 boats and know what they look like. Yeah. If that's 100, 200 or more boats in each berth, then it's pretty hard to do on a human level of there's something wrong with that, that's not normal, all that kind of thing, but this
all
allows
dock
you
masters
to
are
really
fantastic in every marina. They're passionate about looking after boats, but having this helping hand, this early warning, just makes their life easier and the customer a lot more comforted that everything's okay.
Yeah. And I find it really interesting from an operational point of view that you'll have this data on one particular boat, but actually together in your network of marinas, you'll be able to build up a pretty substantial database on what is normal activity and what is abnormal, so that you can optimize your operations to fit what the customer's actually going to want.
Yeah, I mean the IoT concept of having multiple data sources and lots of data to review is certainly helpful. It's not something that just helps us day to day, but can also help suppliers, it can help boat builders. When you've got 6, 7, 8, 10,000 yachts with this sort of equipment on board that's just doing live updates every day, each and every day, you've got a very valuable and quality data set.
Okay, beautiful, and let's move along. So what's the next one?
Well, this is kind of our happy sensor. This monitors battery voltage. One of the biggest, I think, pain points is you've driven down to the marina, you've got your family in the car, you've got all your picnic things ready, you go to the boat and click, nothing. dead batteries. It's not a big deal, it's easy to fix, but it's a time drain. It's going to take you time, effort, and it's going to ruin your weekend.
Yes.
So this little thing here keeps us all happy because you can see live battery voltages on your application.
Yeah, and that's only going to become more and more important. I've talked to a few companies that are talking about the battery actually being the brain of the whole boat. The connected boat is very much up and coming. So batteries are becoming more and more essential. And then from a customer point of view, from what you guys want, you don't want people turning up and not being able to use their boat.
We want people happy, so that's why we call it our happy sensor.
Beautiful, okay.
And again, same point with the ops team, if we've got low battery voltage, we can see that and contact the customer proactively to say, would you like us to connect you? Would you like us to have an engineer take a look at your boat?
Right.
We can do all of that before they arrive. So we've kind of solved the problem before it's become a real pain.
Okay, beautiful. And then smoke. We don't want anything on fire.
Speaks for itself. Smoke detector, pretty standard, but should be there. Heat. This is actually the one that is before the smoke, hopefully, because if this is in your engine room and it sees a spike in temperature, obviously these things are tracking temperature in the peak summer of 40, 50 degrees Celsius because we're in the Mediterranean summertime. But this will just look for those little spikes, that little difference in the data.
Yeah, I didn't realise it does freezing as well.
Well, yeah.
So winterized in cold environments, then you could also pick up, actually, there's something going on.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, that's that one little extra piece of info that if you didn't winterize your boat and we've got a cold snap, you can see the temperature dropping. We can organize that engineer to come and do the winterization for you. We could probably move your lift date if that's something you needed.
Right, you could do something about it before it happens.
Exactly.
Okay, and then protection of your boat,
this is
about?
GPS, so this little GPS device will track where any of your assets are. Predominantly, we're not using this for the boat itself. We're not interested in where people are going or what they're doing. That's nothing to do with us. So people are using these for outboard motors, for tenders. They're hiding them within the boat. So if you are at anchor, you take your tender to a restaurant, your tender's out of sight.
Right.
With this installed, you can see on your application if it's moved, if it's outside of its geofence. It's, again, peace of mind. It's long distance caring. That's what we're trying to achieve.
Right, okay, very, very smart. All right, thank you very much for your insights, Dean.
You're welcome. Thanks, Ben.
Everybody, if you enjoy content like this, make sure you're following here to see plenty more of it. Outside of that, I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.
Thank you.